What's good, y'all? Happy New Year. It's your man Steve Clark here, aka Stevie D, and I'm about to do what I believe, in my opinion, are my top 10 favorite films of last year, 2012. Before I get into that, I just want to point out a couple of movies that I thought that were really good but didn't quite make the list, but deserves to be mentioned. So I call these my honorable mentions. The first movie I'm going to mention is Chronicle. Right off the bat, one of the most original movies I've seen in a long time, and honestly before I went to go see it, I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was like a real bullshit like independent film, but when I seen it, it was like, oh my god, like this, whoever directed this is going to be going places. The next movie I want to mention on this list is The Hunger Games. Honestly, I was not going to go see this movie at all because they kept trying to compare this movie to Twilight, because it involves a love triangle or something like that. And I'm like, really? But when I went to go see it, it actually surprised me. I mean, the beginning, some of the shaky cam they were using was a bit like too much, but as the movie progressed, it got really good and I was impressed with it. Next movie I want to mention on this list, a movie called Life of Pi. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't gonna see this at first. Like when I heard about it, I wasn't gonna see it because it was directed by Ang Lee. And I have nothing against Ang Lee, but it just didn't seem like my cup of tea. But then again, last year when I went to go see Hugo, I didn't think that would be my cup of tea, and that movie wound up being good, you know. But anyway, Life of Pi, absolutely good. I'm not even kidding. It was beautifully filmed, and the visual effects for that movie were just out of this world. I'm not even joking. And Ang Lee's direction, top notch. So good job, Ang Lee. Next movie I would like to mention on this list, Project X. Now I'm gonna be honest. This is the second found footage movie I'm mentioning, and I'm not really too big on found footage, but this movie, even though it was like a party movie, but from beginning to end, it was like, it actually had a pretty decent story in there. And with a movie like this, you're not really gonna look for story, but this movie had a pretty decent story, and it was off the chain. It's one of those instant classics, honestly. So yeah, check that out. Now, the next movie I'm gonna mention, people freaking hate it, but I don't care. Bring on the hate. I don't care. I love this movie, and that was John Carter. John Carter to me was amazing, only because I loved what they did with the visual effects. And honestly, Taylor Kitsch, he's not the best actor in Hollywood, but I've seen much worse. And he's getting better, honestly. Like, but a lot of people are shitting on him because he's I don't know why. Like, I don't know, maybe because he did Battleship this year and that movie wasn't all that great. And Savages was okay, it was meh, whatever. But John Carter to me, I thought was pretty decent. The visual effects were on point, the story I thought was good, the acting I thought was good. And yeah, so I would love for you guys to tell me how much I'm wrong, but I don't care. This is just my personal opinion. Next, the next honorable mention I want to get out the way is a movie I thought was really funny and it was totally overlooked, and that was Think Like a Man. Now, honestly, when I first heard about this movie, I was like, Kevin Hart is doing a movie based on a book, really? But then I found out it was based off Steve Harvey's book. I was like, okay, it would seem pretty good, and the cast was just, everyone did their thing, and it's one of those movies where you kind of just you almost catch yourself kind of taking notes from this movie, you know, as far as what they done. I'm not going to get into it, but it was a really good movie. Kevin Hart steals every scene he's in, and everyone else, I'm not going to start naming the cast, but everyone else acted really, really well. So check that out. Now, the next movie I'm going to mention, I don't care what anyone says, I was touched by this movie, and that was The Guilt Trip. The Guilt Trip to me was something that I wasn't honestly gonna go see. Honestly, this is me being honest. I wasn't gonna go see it, but I got dragged by a friend of mine who mentioned it, and I was supposed to see something else, but we wound up seeing The Guilt Trip, and oh my God, this movie was beautifully filmed. Anne Fletcher, wow, I can't believe I remember that. Anyway, she directed this movie, and it was just, honestly, after seeing this movie, I just wanted to hug my mom. Honestly, I did. And I cried at the end. I don't care. Bring on the hate. I don't care. This movie touched me. and it was just beautifully filmed. And Barbara Streisand and Seth Rogen as mother and son was just great chemistry. I loved it. So, in the last movie I would like to mention, as far as an honorable mention, is Here Comes the Boom, starring Kevin James. Oh my God, that movie was good. I'm not even kidding. So it was just, it was a bait and switch, because the last movie done with this pairing as far as director and actor was Zookeeper. Ugh. But this movie was like, what? This is done by the same director? This is crazy. But it was great. It had a great script. Kevin James did his thing. He actually was believable as an MMA fighter, you know, doing the right thing for somebody else. So yeah. Now that we got those out the way, I want to get into my top 10. And coming at number 10, as far as movies that I love, this is my personal list. And the number 10 movie is Skyfall. Best James Bond movie since Casino Royale. Not even kidding. Check it out. Awesome movie. Javier Bardem is the villain. This guy, he's just born to be a villain. I'm not even kidding. He won an Academy Award for playing a villain. Come on, guys. Well, yeah, that's number 10, so check it out. Coming at number 9 on my list is Ted. Yeah, as soon as I say the movie, I just laugh, because it's the funniest movie I've seen all year. Probably within the last 2 years, the funniest fucking movie. Oh my God, Seth MacFarlane's directing, his writing, his, oh God, it was just so funny. And Mark Wahlberg, I have not seen him so funny in my entire life, honestly. And I wanted to like him in The Other Guys, the movie he did with Will Ferrell, but that movie wasn't bad. It just wasn't gut-busting funny like I thought it would be. But Ted, funny as hell. And oh my God, the comedic timing was just it just blew me away. So yeah, number 9. Coming in number 8 was a movie that I didn't think was going to be good, but it surprised the hell out of me, and that's Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. Oh my God, this movie was just, it was just so good. One of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time, honestly. Like, seriously. So the voiceover talent was just out of this world. Jessica Chastain and Bryan Cranston were just two standouts as far as voiceover talent. Oh my God, check out this movie. And the circus scene alone is worth the price of the entire movie alone. The whole movie is good, but it was just brilliantly filmed. The score done by Hans Zimmer, who's, by the way, one of my favorite film composers. The directing, the voiceover, everything about this movie was just near perfect. You know, so yeah, check it out. Coming in number 7 is a movie I saw a while back and I was anticipating it, and that's Looper. Looper, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. Really good, original science fiction, time travel, whatever movie. It was just, oh my God, the directing was just out of this world. And to be perfectly honest with you, this was the first movie I seen directed by Rian Johnson. And he directed a couple other movies, I believe. He directed Brick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and another movie, I can't think of the name right now, but this movie just was out of this world. And it was this little kid in this movie who acts in this, and he's going places. I'm not gonna try to figure out what his name is, but it's this little kid in this movie. Look out for him, because he's on the rise. Coming in number 6, it was a movie I just saw last week, and that's Django Unchained. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's, oh my God, like that movie was just bloody fantastic. When I mean bloody fantastic, I'm talking about, it was filmed perfectly. It had, like, within the first 10 minutes of this movie, it just has Quentin Tarantino's just name just all over it. I'm talking like the directing, the style, just the whole spaghetti western feel. It was just, oh my God, great fucking movie. And the dialogue was just, oh my, and it was honestly one of the funniest movies to come out this year. I would even go on record and say that it's probably, as far as comedy, it's right behind Ted. Seriously. The only movie I would say funnier than Django Unchained is Ted. Next to that is Django Unchained. But anyway, Jamie Foxx, Leonardo DiCaprio, Christoph Waltz, who, this is the best he's acted since Inglourious Basterds, in my opinion. Everything he's done in between Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained, everything he's done in between, he just wasn't good. Anonymous, freaking The Three Musketeers, The Green Hornet, ugh, he just was not good in either of these movies. But Inglourious Bastards, he wins the Academy Award, and he might just get nominated for Django Unchained because he was just absolutely funny. And Samuel L. Jackson, the funniest guy in this entire movie. I'm gonna be honest, and I didn't think he was, but it was just like, well, whatever. That's my number 6 pick. I don't want to keep getting into it, so check it out. Now, coming in number 5, we got a movie directed by Ben Affleck, starring Ben Affleck, and that's called Argo. Oh my God, great movie, brilliantly filmed. Ben Affleck, I take my hat off to you, sir. You are one of the best directors, film directors in the game today. Good job, buddy. One of the most intense, satisfying, suspenseful movies you'll ever see without someone getting shot. So yeah, check out Argo. Now, coming in number 4 was Flight, starring Denzel Washington, the best actor in like forever. So in my personal opinion, I don't care. Bring on the hate. Yeah, it's gonna be people out there that's gonna give me, oh, Sean Penn, Robert De Niro, whatever. Denzel Washington is the best, and this was the best he's ever acted, in my opinion, in a long time. You know, and he's done, and Denzel Washington is actually one of those actors who, what I could personally say, he's never done a bullshit movie. Never. Every single movie he's done was good. Now, granted, I don't own all his movies on DVD and Blu-ray, but still, if you look at my DVD collection, I have probably more Denzel Washington movies than any other actor. But his pairing with Robert Zemeckis was just beautiful. I love this movie from beginning to end. Check it out, Flight. Now, we're getting into the top 3. These 3 movies that really touched me. So, coming in number 3 was just an awesome movie from beginning to end. It needs no introduction, and that is The Dark Knight Rises. Just great script, great directing by Christopher Nolan. It was just, and as far as Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, it was what I expected out of what he wanted to bring to the big screen. And oh my God, like I can't even speak. It was just, and Tom Hardy as Bane. People were trying to gripe with the fact that you couldn't, hear him like that, and his voice was all muffled and stuff. But after it was redubbed, you can clearly hear him. It was just a great movie from beginning and beautifully directed. So yeah, that's my number 3 pick. Now, coming in number 2 on my list is another animated film, and that's Wreck-It Ralph. I don't have to say no more. Wreck-It Ralph was just perfect. There's literally nothing wrong with this movie, honestly. And Sarah Silverman, I'm gonna say I gained a new level of respect for Sarah Silverman, because I was never really the biggest fan of Sarah Silverman, but her voiceover work in this movie was just absolutely brilliant. The fact that she was believable as a 9-year-old girl and she pulled it off. I was like, I wanted to kiss this chick after seeing this movie. I'm talking about tongue. But anyway, everyone else was good in this movie. Jack McBrayer as Fix-It Felix Jr., Jane Lynch as Sergeant Calhoun, and John C. Reilly as Wreck-It Ralph. And I loved how they added all the little video game bits from all the other video games and stuff that you'll recognize, but it didn't use that as a crutch. It was actually a solid movie about Ralph. Wow, nothing wrong with it. Awesome movie. Now, coming in number 1, people are probably gonna be like, well, this movie is either gonna be number 1 or it's not gonna be on my list at all. And you probably already know what it is. My number 1 pick for the best movie of 2012 was Marvel's The Avengers. Yeah, I know. Oh, everyone's picking that as the number 1. Well, so what? This is my list. I don't care. I think that was the best movie to come out this year. Joss Whedon, wow, you did your thing. And here's the thing. I never really thought of Joss Whedon as a bad director. I mean, he's only directed what, one other movie, and like to my knowledge, and that was Serenity. So when I heard he was directing, I was like, well, he has one movie under his belt, which was semi-good. So let's see what he does. But oh my God, just the story, and the thing about the Avengers that I liked was it was campy, but not bad. It was actually really good because it knew what the hell it was. It knew that it was this just action-packed comic book movie, but he took that and used it as a strength instead of a weakness, in my personal opinion. So there it is. That's my top 10 for the 2012. So if you like this video, give me a like and a favorite, and be sure to click right over here to subscribe to my channel. So until next time, this is Steve Clark, aka Stevie D with the LI Rant. Until next time, later.